Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Browns Latest. I'm Dave Grendzynski, and you can call me Grizzer. This is where we get you caught up on some of the latest news that is tied to our favorite team in the NFL. That is the Cleveland Browns. And then we also give you my take and your takes along the way. Everybody jumps into those viewer comments to make their voices heard. Thank you to everyone who has liked our previous episodes and to everyone who has subscribed to the channel. Here's what we're going to do. We always change the fit when we cross the threshold. We're climbing our way to 10,000 subscribers. When we get there, the orange quarter zip, we'll get a day off. Now, normally the collar is like up. So today we're going to just mix it up a little bit. And we're going to go flat for Flacco. Flacco gone. That's what we're doing. Flat for Flacco. In honor of the memory of Old Man Joe, we will go flat for Flacco. Just, something a little different. Also, everybody, thank you for those of you who have become members of the Browns' latest dog pound. And again, all of you who get your comments in the viewer comments section, can't thank you enough. And I'll tell you what, there is just never, ever a dull moment with this team. Joe Flacco's gone. And I'll tell you what, this trade puts us one step closer to my worst nightmare as a Browns fan. But I'm also here to tell you that it'll never, ever happen. If you don't think Aaron Rodgers is having a massively positive effect on the Steelers' offense, I have some news for you. That being said, one of Pittsburgh's problem areas on defense so far this season may be able to be exposed by one of the Browns' strengths on offense, and we can make an old friend look silly at the same time. And in the viewer comments, we will complete this sentence. If Dillon Gabriel were any good, he would have... We'll find out what that is all about. But first things first, it broke during the afternoon yesterday, and, the talk went on through the night. But the bottom line is this. This is a Albert Breer, Ian Rappaport, just agreeing with Albert Breer. And, this is what Cincinnati's trying to do. They're trying to save their season, right? They know Browning's not the answer, so they're desperate. And in desperate times, you resort to desperate measures. And in rolls Joe Flacco, Old Man Joe, our guy, put back in the rocking chair, now out of the rocking chair, and on his way to Bungletown. This is the first time the Browns and the Bengals have ever traded. You rarely see this within the division, a trade like this. By the last time the Bengals acquired a player via a trade with a division opponent, 1972. They got Hall of Fame wide receiver Charlie Joyner and linebacker Ron Pritchard from the Houston Oilers for running backs Paul Robinson and Fred Willis. That is how rare. This is so rare for this to happen. Now, of course, I'm going to be the first to tell you that, here, I want to be on camera. Joe Flacco will now become the offensive comeback player of the year and take the Bengals to the playoffs. So just get ready for that. I just want everybody to be prepared for that. The Bengals are going to the playoffs, and it'll be Flacco who gets them there. So just be ready. Now, back to our quarterback room. Here it is. Dillon Gabriel, QB1, the new depth chart, the unofficial depth chart. And you know how I feel about the unofficial depth chart. Shadour's 2. Finally, quarterback 2. Made it. Bailey Zappe's still there. Deshaun Watson. They said Deshaun will not be. He's still on the PUP list. Now this is the thing. Bailey Zappe, probably you've got two guys you need to look at and determine if they're part of your future. You've got two guys who are veterans who are part of your past that have no business being a part of the future. So to me, this is easy. It's Gabriel and Sanders. Let's go forward. All of these people who keep saying Deshaun Watson is going to play, it's not going to happen. Now, that is my worst fear as a Browns fan, because we're talking about the Browns, and you just never freaking know what they're going to do. But I digress. There is no way Deshaun Watson will be in this picture. Bailey Zappe can sit there as the emergency quarterback. That's fine, because once Shador gets the reins, it's over, baby. It's all we got to do. Just bide our time and get there and let Deshaun run out that contract. Here's what the other thing, though, what I'll say is this. The Browns are really pumping up Dillon Gabriel on social media. Oh, he's up for the Rookie of the Week. How the hell can you be up for the Rookie of the Week? You threw for 190 yards and lost. How does that mean? I mean, I guess every rookie's up for the Rookie of the Week, right? I thought that was a little suspect. Yeah, they're pumping up Gabriel pretty hard. So just going to have to bear with that. But Shedeur talked about it. He said he saw Flacco at the facility after he was traded. And I mean, he said, hey, he taught him a lot. He's a vet, taught him a lot. And he was shocked that it happened so fast, the trade, apparently. That's what Shedeur said, Joe said. So there's our quarterback room now, minus the guy at the bottom of the list. So Browns, here's the thing. Browns are 4-18 in their last 22 games. 4-18. Scored 20 points in just 3 times over that span. So, what do? You make a trade with the Bengals for the first time ever. All right. Well, we're set up. This is the first day of the rest of our lives, people. Dillon Gabriel's QB1 and Shedeur. Finally, QB2. I mean, it's a vote of confidence, right? For Shedeur, for them to say, all right, let's just get Flacco out of the way and let's move forward. Everything is falling into place like what we told you. We've been telling you this for months, but until Ian Rappaport says it, nobody cares. We've been on this, folks, for months. I've been telling you this is how this is playing out. The rookies are both going to play this year. Bottom line, it's going to happen. And now we are finally at the precipice, the doorstep of all of this now playing out. Because it's going to be very interesting to see what Dillon Gabriel can do with those Pittsburgh Steelers over there in Steel Country. And one thing I can tell you about this. I mean, I don't ever want to give the Steelers any credit. I don't ever want to compliment the Steelers, but I have to tell you, their offense has improved with Aaron Rodgers. I watched Aaron Rodgers a lot when he was with the Jets. I don't know how I ended up watching the Jets, because I don't know, it just seemed like be the end of the Jets game. There were so many times he brought them back, got them a lead, and then the defense, late in the game, and then the defense blew it at the end. And everybody was always on Aaron Rodgers about it. Now, I telling my buddy, so did Pop Dave. Now, his wife is a huge Green Bay Packers fan, and she would always complain about Aaron Rodgers, and we're like, you're nuts. You don't even know what you have. Like, this is insane. And then he's with the Jets, and so told Pop Dave, I'm like, dude, the Jets' problems aren't all Aaron Rodgers. I mean, their defense just keeps giving away the leads he gets. And so here he is now in Pittsburgh with a coach that knows what the hell he's doing. And one of the things that he knows, they've rejuvenated their running game. And I'm sure Rodgers is helping with that. We're going to have more on him in just a second. But I don't know if you noticed that game in Dublin against Minnesota. They put offensive lineman Spencer Anderson. They kept lining him up as tackle eligible in order to run the ball. That's how Gainwell did so well. Remember, he ran for 99 and 2 touchdowns. This is their backup running back, Kenneth Gainwell. I mean, they got rid of Najee Harris. They went to Jalen Warren, and Warren's out. Now they got this guy going for almost 102 touchdowns against Minnesota. He played 19 snaps as tackle eligible. So now this is supposed to be a week-to-week thing. Apparently the defense Minnesota was playing, it's like a too-high shell or something, was the reason they did it. So Brownies, you're on alert. You're going to play too-high shell, you're going to get tackle eligible, and they're going to run the ball. So don't expect them to throw the ball to them. Although against us, they'll probably have a guy who's never thrown a pass throw to a guy who's never caught a pass, like the Vikings did. And so don't count that out. Now, the other thing, Aaron Rodgers, their offense is vastly improved with him under center. And you're like, get out of here, Dave. Come on, man. You're just no. And I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on. I got pictures. I got graphics to show you. I bring the facts, folks. Actual and factual. Take a look at this. This is their opening drives. We'll start there with Aaron Rodgers. Week 1, a touchdown. Week 2, a field goal. Week 3, a touchdown. Week 4, a punt. And you're like, Dave, what do we care about that? Because, well, look at the red zone. In 2025, they are 9 for 13 in the red zone, 69.2%. Now let's look at the last 3 years. 2024, 48.2%. 2023, 47.6%. 2022, we're back into the Kenny Pickett days. 51.9%. In the business, we might call that 52%. Big difference. Almost a 70% clip they're scoring points in the red zone now. So let's talk about it now. Is the Steelers' offense improved? This was one of the liabilities since Roethlisberger's been gone. They've never had a quarterback they could really hang their hat on, and now they do. It's a problem, folks. Their offense is better. Now, their receivers are kind of they're talking about bringing guys back out of retirement and stuff like that. Kelvin Austin is got issues now too, and so they got DK. It's probably. Do we go out and say it? Do we just say it? It's probably better than anything we got. Do we say it? But Aaron Rodgers, man, 42 years old. He's not done. We could have had him. We could have thrown some instead. We can Flacco, and we wanted a vet. We could have had a vet. So, but here's the good news. I got some good news. Don't worry. I always bring good news. Don't worry. Pittsburgh has a weakness on their defense, and that weakness could be their linebackers. Word out of Pittsburgh is that Peyton Willis and Patrick Queen are having trouble communicating with each other. There's been some breakdowns in assignments, mostly with the tight ends with these two linebackers, right? And guess what? We've got a couple of good tight ends. We've got David Njoku, who just had himself a breakout game against the Vikings, right? 6 for 67 and a touchdown. Harold Fannin caught a touchdown. Harold Fannin Jr., our phenom. Fannin, the phenom, the freshman phenom. We got him too. Our tight ends against their linebackers could be a huge storyline here because it's been a problem. Apparently those guys have let up some big plays and some touchdowns because they're just not on the same page. And so they got to clean that up, apparently, before Sunday, before Njoku and Fanning get to town. Because the last thing Mike Tomlin wants is to see Dillon Gabriel kind of get settled in and get into a rhythm and get comfortable early in that game by finding his go-to targets, Fanning and Njoku. One thing they could do is roll some safeties down there. Now, here's the one thing. Of course, we're coming to town, and now finally all 4 of their safeties are healthy for the first time all year. So we got that to deal with. But here's what the other thing. One of the guys that we're going to see is our old friend, Juan Thornhill. Remember Juan? Well, you will when I show you this. Remember the tweet? The chosen Juan. Right after we signed Damontae Kazee, Pittsburgh's old safety. We got rid of the chosen Juan, and we said, well, you give us Pittsburgh's old safety. We'll take him. Juan signs with Pittsburgh on a 1-year show me deal. So we say, give us KZ. And then what does he tweet out? Can't wait. This beep is personal. So he's also trolled the Browns on a TikTok video and some other things. And so this should be a fun reunion come Sunday. So I tell you what, we got to find something, man. We got to expose their weakness with our tight ends if we can. Now, one thing that's never weak, of course, are the viewer comments. And we'll start today with Marie Design 1659, who says they just traded Flacco. Let's see what happens. Yeah, let's see what happens. I've been telling you all along, folks. The owner said both rookies will play, and now we are on the precipice. So Shedeur now QB2. They have not on the unofficial depth chart. No QB3 listed yet, but it's got to be Zappy because they said Watson still on the PUP list. So, and he better stay there forever. Don Badger with 2 Ds. It's Badger with 2 Ds. So does that make it Badger? Don Badger 3730 says Kevin Stefanski knows what time it is. Keep losing games and his time is over before the season ends. Jim Schwartz is the answer for the players, hey, I am picking up what you're putting down, Don Badger, for sure. I mean, I've been saying this now we're going on 4 weeks. I've been saying that Jim Schwartz should be made the head coach of the football team. He can run the defense, be the head coach, let Reese run the offense for the time being, and then we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out from there because Reese is probably piecing out to UCLA anyway. So that's my thought. Don Badger, like what you're thinking. Petty Lag. Now, it could be Patty Leg, but it's not. It's Petty Lag who says, Kevin is getting fired this season. We need something to happen with this offense, man. He's got to go. He's got to go. We need a change. Nomi, 4560 says, supposedly the Browns chose not to take the bye week after the London trip. The NFL gives the London team a choice, and Nomi is absolutely right. You know, we signed up for this. We signed up to go to Detroit and then come back home and then go to London and then come back home and then go to Pittsburgh because NFL teams playing in London can request to have their bye week the following week. Though they are not always granted their request, they are given the option to decline it, while the standard practice was to give teams a post-London bye to allow for recovery for the extensive travel time and time zone differences. Many teams, though, will forego that and to have their bye week later in the season. So the Browns had a choice. They could have taken their bye week this week. And like I said, when I have traveled internationally, it's when we get back. So if our team is running like they're stuck in mud, I think we're going to know why. So we'll see. We'll see on Sunday. RBF Consulting Ohio. Sounds like a commercial. RBF Consulting Ohio. Hey, you want to sponsor the show? Do I need to get you in contact with the Fan Arch people? Let's go, RBF Consulting Ohio. Here's what RBF Consulting Ohio says. A few thoughts and a comment. Barry and Stefanski went after Watson and got rid of Baker too soon. I would take him over their whole quarterback room right now. They need to be held accountable for that move or at least answer honestly when questioned about it, although that will never happen. How many years did this move set the franchise back? Could we have had a franchise left tackle? Could we have had a franchise wide receiver? Could Miles have had a running mate? I think we could have had all three given savvy drafting. Now, here's the comment. Could you do an extra show one time where you do a regular show and then a show where you dive into only viewer comments? Just wondering, no feelings hurt here. Love your show. Listen every day. Keep up the great content. RBF Consulting Ohio, thank you so much. Fan Arts, contact them if you want to sponsor. But here's the deal. I've already talked about it. Yeah, we're going to do, because there's so many good viewer comments and every day. And so we'll do a show maybe during the bye week. We'll do something where we'll do, it's just going to be, I'll just read them and we'll just rip through them. I'll just have it up live and I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll come up with something. But we will definitely do that. And I do agree with you on the take. But here's the thing with Baker. Like, remember, he had a lot of growing up to do. Couple of stops before he got to Tampa, but I put it on Stefanski. Somebody needed to be the adult in the room for Baker. We needed to parent him because he was so young and so immature at the time, but Stefanski wouldn't. Nobody would be the adult in the room. And now look at him. You knew it was in there, just a matter of him maturing. And here we are. We are where we are. Ivy Yancey, 2438. I agree Gabriel did okay, but the game scheme was too basic, nothing downfield, ball thrown way over receivers' heads, but he did a great job of not turning the ball over. He did what he will do every game. He stayed in college for years. Why wouldn't he have records? The goalpost is always being changed. Well, this is what we teased at the top about Dillon Gabriel. Yes, when you're in college that long, I mean, you're either a doctor or you set a bunch of records. Because you have extra chances, right? It's just like records in a regular season now. Because you have 17 games. I mean, that's different. That extra game makes it easier to set a yards record or things like that. Because everybody else played with 16 games or way back in the day, whatever it was, 14 games. But here's what we're gonna complete the sentence. Here's the sentence we tease. If Dillon Gabriel were any good, he would have not spent 6 years in college bouncing around between 3 teams. He would have been drafted after his junior year. Somebody would have wanted him and made them their franchise quarterback. Like, if you're an NFL caliber quarterback, he would have come out and would have been drafted. But instead, 3 schools, 6 years. There you go. So great take, Ivy Yancey, 2438. And we will end on Tiki on Pause. Tiki's very active in the live chat when the show first goes live. And this is very appropriate for today because Joe Flacco is now out of the mix. Dillon Gabriel is QB1. Shedeur Sanders is QB2. And Tiki on Pause says, I believe that after the bye week, we will see Shedeur start. Boom. I couldn't agree anymore. 100% for sure. Shedeur's time is coming. Perfect timing. Perfect timing for this to happen. Get Flacco out of the way, right? We don't need perfect miming from Shedeur. We need perfect timing from Shedeur. And that's what we got. Let's go. The ball is back, baby. That's all we're going to hear when Shedeur gets the reins, baby. That's it. We'll be barking and the song will be playing. Because here's the deal. Here's what I mean. It's great to have Gabriel because we are set at backup quarterback. And now Shedeur gets his shot and never looks back. And we have our starter. We have our franchise and we have our backup all in one draft. So only in Cleveland would that happen. And only in Cleveland is that happening now. Just like Flacco going to the Bengals and he'll lead them to the playoffs and become comeback player of the year. But I digress. But I'm telling you, folks, we are now set up. We are now set up for some fun. Let's go. Let's get through Gabriel, get to Shedeur, and let's move on with the rest of our Browns life. All right, that'll do it. Thanks for joining us. Go Browns. We'll see you next time.